So now let's talk about this, setting the stage for a fall explosion. I want to talk about best practices in August. This is something that's near and dear to my heart because a lot of people out there in this industry, they tend to feel like it slows down in the summer, just like they tend to feel like it slows down in December with the holidays. Well, I can tell you that I've been in this industry for 3 decades, and there's never been a time where I've slowed down, where we have slowed down when other people think that it's going to slow down. It just does not happen. If you keep that mentality, that's just something that people say because there's a lot of stuff going on in the summer, especially in northern areas of the country where, you've been cooped up all winter, right? Now it's really nice outside. And there's all kinds of events and vacations. So keep in mind, you can build massive momentum when other people think that it's time to slow down. It's just a mindset. That's all it is. So building our business has never been easier. You definitely have to have this Think Plus Connect app. If you don't have it, go to the App Store or Google Play and get it. You log in with your regular information from the back office and utilize this, especially, you guys, especially utilize the segment of this. Corporate puts a whole bunch of information in there for you to share. And it's things that they recommend sharing. But here's the thing, you're going to find things that you want to share that you like because of your style and the people that you know. And you're going to find information that you want to share with those people and track when they're seeing it. And so that My Sharing Tools section, the My Tools section of this app, you should be loading that up with information. An article that I found. Somebody just sent me an article today. And I looked at it and I said, wow, I know the perfect person to send this to. So instead of just sending them the article, I loaded it into my Think Plus Connect app, and then I sent it to them from there so that I know exactly when they're clicking on the article and looking at it, so that I know when to follow up with them. Put your little spy bots, into play here. That's what we have, get your app working for you when you're not working. So do it and use it. Setting the stage for massive momentum in the fall means this. It's why we have this promotion, the Turn Up the Heat promotion, so you can invite more people to come aboard, so that you can have brand new people, new blood in your business, so that you can have them go and get new customers that we would not have access to. You would not have access to them without them joining your team. So therefore, based on the promotion that we have in place, the Turn Up the Heat promotion, and the fact that we are heading into a massive phase of expansion, you want to be up to speed on your invitation techniques. And so I highly recommend everybody, I don't care how much money you're making or how long you've been doing this, everybody, including myself, deserves a refresher. Okay? Click through the slides. You can get the slides on our Google Drive, but watch the video and it'll go through. It will prep you to keep you in the mindset, of inviting. It'll make you more effective if you listen to it than if you don't. So keep this momentum going in August. Well, how do you do that? One thing I recommend is to pick a book to read in the month of August. You probably say, well, what does that have to do with creating momentum? Believe me, when you read, you will create momentum. You will do more, okay, when you're reading positive thinking books that make your brain think in a positive way, and you have that information go into your brain and into your psyche, you will be more effective than if you didn't do it. So pick a book to read in August, and it needs to be a book that's going to help you. I mean, it's great to read novels and fiction and things like that, absolutely. But you also need books that are targeted to help you succeed. All right, so add 1 to 3 names to your prospect list per day. Every single day. This is how you create massive momentum. I do this every day in the morning. I pick up the memory jogger every day in the morning. I spend 2 minutes. I have a reminder on my phone to remind me when to do the memory jogger. Literally, it reminds me to take 2 minutes. I have a 2-minute segment in my calendar. It's so skinny on the calendar. It's just, you can barely even read it, but it reminds me automatically. It pops up on my home screen and it says, check out, mine says, check out the memory jogger. That's all it says. Check out the memory jogger. And so I do. I have it on my desk. I flip through the memory jogger. It's right here all the time. And for 2 minutes, It's amazing how you think that you went through the memory jogger and you remember everybody that you know. But when you go through it each day for 2 minutes, you could just look at a couple of the pages and a couple of the line items on there, and you'd be surprised how you'll think of more people every single day if you do that. And if you're adding 1 to 3 names up to your list every day, then you're adding between, I don't know, 30 and 90 names to your list every month. And if you do that for the month of August, that's a lot of new prospects that you've never thought of. So you just utilize the memory jogger. It's a simple tool that's there, and the list is a growing, evolving thing. You always want to be adding people to that list. And then 3 to 5 reach outs per day. Reach out to 3 to 5 people a day. I make it a point to do that every single day. 10 minutes per day it takes me. That's about, I mean, you can reach out to people via text very quickly, via electronic means very quickly. You can do it in 3 minutes. You can reach 3 people in 3 minutes. And then let your app, if you're using the Think Plus Connect app, let your app do the work to let you know when you should be following up with people. You're like putting your invitations on autopilot. And then set up reminders. Like I was just saying, I have reminders set up for everything. I even have one that says every day, like every night toward the end of the night, it says I have a reminder on there that says read a book. That's all it says, read a book. Because if I forgot, I got tied up or whatever, I read a book at the end of the day. And so put reminders in there for everything that you do, whether it's 3 to 5 reach outs, adding names to your list, reading a book. If you don't have a habit of reading, that's how I got into a habit of reading. I had my phone remind me until it became a habit. There's very few days where I don't read something and my phone reminds me to read and I didn't do it already. Practice positive affirmations. You're going to learn about that, especially if you're reading, and you're looking at books that we've recommended you read, like the Go Pro book, Having Confidence and Power, The Magic of Thinking Big, and Rhino Success. All of those books will talk about positive affirmations, things that you say to yourself when it's quiet, when you're driving, steering wheel talk. Like when I'm going to meet with somebody, or I'm going to do a meeting or something like that, and I'm driving there, the thing I say to myself is, this is what I say, positive affirmation. I sit there and say to myself, I am going to blow the doors off this place. Like, these people have no idea what's coming. They've never met anybody like me before. They don't know anybody like me ever before. I am going to absolutely light this place up. I sit there and say it on the steering while I'm holding the steering wheel. I'm talking to the steering wheel. Sometimes my wife is in the seat, I'm talking to her, and then she positive affirmations back to me, and it's fun. So have fun doing it. Here's a recommended reading. If you've already read all these books that we just talked about, but maybe you're looking for something that's very specific and apropos for the month of August, this is my recommendation, The 4-Year Career. If you have not read this book by Richard Bliss Brooke, this guy is brilliant, okay? This is one of the highest rated books you're ever going to find. And who wouldn't want a 4-year career? Think about that in the month of August with the imagery that's on this book, the perfect time to be reading this book. It talks about how in 4 years, you can create what takes 40 years in a regular core career or profession with our industry, with this business that we are in now. How in 4 years, you can create life-changing income that will allow you to, if you want to, not that everybody wants to, some people love their job, but it'll allow you to walk if you don't want to do that anymore, if you'd rather spend your time doing something else. So the 4-year career. If you've already read the 4-year career, go back and read your first year in network marketing if you haven't read that. Mark Yarnell and Renee, just incredible what Mark and Renee have put together in your first year in network marketing. It's great. It's the basics, but it also is very advanced in its teaching at the same time. So it'll regroup everything that you're doing. So I highly recommend, again, The 4-Year Career, great read. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it in soft cover, hardcover, digital format, audio. It's in every format you can find. It's in different languages. Guys, read it, listen to it in the car, whatever it is, do it. And then focus on an August invitation. So this is an invitation that's actually not in our invitation training, and it's specific to this month. Specific to this month. I guess you could do it for July as well, but I like to say that this is specific for the month of August. And so here it is. Hi, Mike. I know it's summer, and with all the vacations and family gatherings and barbecues, and all the outside recreation, the last thing you're probably thinking about is business. And I'm as busy as everyone else. So you guys realize what's happening here, right? You're setting the stage to say something. Okay, you're setting the stage to say something, and you're doing it by stating the obvious. Because anytime you're contacting someone in, if you're contacting someone in August, in the summer, there's going to be a number of people that this is what they think. They think, well, with all the vacations and I'm busy and I got family gatherings and I have weddings to go to, and everything else, they're coming up with all different types of excuses in their mind if you were to contact them about business. So why not meet them at and handle that and basically acknowledge, that objection, if you will, or that impediment? Why not just do that so that you can then help them understand that there's something more that you're doing on this invitation? And I've taken my camera off so you can see everything and I'm not blocking the screen. So that being said, after you say that to someone, that being said, I have a business project that I'm working on and it's going really well. I like to emphasize really, it's going really, really well. We're heading into a massive period of expansion and growth in September. You guys know that that's happening. It happens in the energy sector, especially because energy rates become the most favorable from September through May. It's just how the industry works across the board. So there's always a lot more savings during that period of time than other periods of time. So there's massive growth that happens, but we're also expanding. We have new programs coming up. We have all kinds of things going on with our national convention, lots of announcements. But here it is. We're heading into a massive period of expansion and growth in September. And I wanted to find out if you'd be open to taking a look right after Labor Day. See, there's a psychological thing here, you guys. The reason that I'm saying that, okay, the reason that I am saying it's right after Labor Day, okay, is because I want them to think that they can continue doing what they're doing, like with their, regular life, so to speak, and go through the summer like they normally would. I want to let them know that it's okay to do that. But at the same time, I want to see if they're open to taking a look after Labor Day. Now, there's a reason that I say that as well, beyond just meeting them at their kind of commitment level. I don't know what their commitment level is yet, but this line and this tactic, if you want to call it that, allows me to meet them at their level of commitment. There's nothing here that's offensive. There's nothing that somebody's going to say you're trying to get me to do anything or not. You're actually almost taking it away right now. So you're almost taking it away. All right. So that being said, I have a project that I'm working on. It's going really well. We're heading into a massive period of expansion and growth in September. And I wanted to find out if you'd be open to taking a look right after Labor Day. Because look, I'm as busy as everybody else. I already said that, right? So then they might say, sure, I am, whatever they say. Okay. And here's the reason why you want to ask them if they'd be open to taking a look right after Labor Day, because some people will say, well, why wait till Labor Day? And now you're talking to somebody that you're really looking for. So I use this as a sorting mechanism. So if somebody says, well, I'd like to take a look right now, great. That's why you're asking this, to find the people who are looking right now. Because if you ask them if they're open to taking a look after Labor Day, why wouldn't, if you asked me that and I was looking for something, I'd be like, well, why don't I take a look right now? So now it's like they're, becoming interested and you've turned the whole conversation around. So then I said, well, listen, I can't promise you anything, but if it works out, it could be life-changing income for you on a part-time basis without interfering with your job. This would be an advisory position. I think I need to fix that right now. This would be an advisory position. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm one of those people that I start to short circuit if there's a typo on my screen, so just to give you a heads up on that, that's just how I am. But yeah, so here we are. Let me go back. Now I can continue. Let me start over from the beginning. No, I'm just kidding. So look, this would be an advisory position because guess what? They'd be becoming an advisor. That's why we called ourselves advisors. And you wouldn't be selling anything because guess what? We're not selling anything. So when should I put you in my calendar so we can connect? You guys, this is a great invitation that you can use in the month of August to really set the tone and weed people out. Like if somebody doesn't say, I'd like to find out now, then you're better off contacting them after Labor Day because you just sorted. You just found out if they're really looking right now or not. But at the same time, you're setting up something for after Labor Day so that when you call them the second time, there's a psychological yes. There's a psychological positive feeling that when you tell someone about something now, and then a month later, you reconnect with them, you're reconnecting, right? We should actually make that so we can reconnect because you've already connected. All right. So that's how it works. And there's a psychological thing there that when you call them the second time, they are much more likely to receive in a positive way the information that you're sharing with them because you've already prepped them for it in advance the month before. So now it's just like, hey, here's what I'm doing exactly what you asked me to. You asked me to reach out and reconnect after Labor Day, and now I am. And I already told you that I have a business project and all the other things about this. So you guys take this and use it. It works. It works really, really well. It also works for great times. The same exact type of thing works when you're talking to people over the holidays, like December, end of December, January, beginning of January, like from, I don't know, mid-December through after the New Year. It's the same exact thing. I love to start doing this same thing. And instead of August, I'm just like, here's the invitation for December. Okay. It works and it's psychological and it helps to help you reach out to people and meet them at their commitment level while sorting. And then look, as soon as you get back in touch with them, the first thing I do, if somebody says, yeah, I want to know more about it right now, I just go right to this every time. Okay, first off, before we get into anything, how many of these states do you have people in or have contacts in before I even share the information with them? Guys, why wouldn't you do that? It's so powerful. This is the best way to reach into people's spheres of influence and find out where they know people. And then again, same way that we always train every week, every Saturday. If they say one or more states, it's a great answer. Anything one or above means we need to bring you up to speed because look, if you knew two or three or four people that went director or partner or senior partner or whatever in our business, like director or above in our business, I could guarantee you that you know people like that. And they're looking for us and we're looking for them. But if you were to connect us with those people and we let you override everything that they do, which we will by becoming an advisor, you could potentially make more money just by making some just by setting up making some connections, just by referring people to us. So there's a lot of ways this can go. After you're done reading the 4-year career, if you have it like in print format, give it to somebody. Okay, I make it a point every August. This is what I do. I did this last August. I've done it probably every August. I always give people books in the month of August because they tend to be sitting at the beach and looking for something to read. And so I say, hey, listen, when you're sitting at the beach or you have some downtime in the summer, or you're relaxing in the hammock or you're sitting by the pool or you're on vacation, I'm giving you this book so that when you have that downtime, it'll be there. When you're on an airplane, when you're riding in the car, whatever it is, when you have some downtime with family or without family or on vacation or whatever it is, you will read this book because I think this book could be a life changer as it has been for me. So I give books away all the time in the summer to people, especially because they tend to read, they tend to have relaxation time where they can actually read. I do it year round, but in the summer especially, and with the imagery on this book, it makes total sense. Guys, there's our events.